ever feel like you're lying awake in bed at night just listening to your dog slurp on their feet or nibble on their toes, or their feet are always kind of wet and smell like Fritos, right? The classic Frito smell, and there's redness between the toes, and they're damp and yucky, and sometimes they got those blisters between their toes, those interdigital cysts. And this is by far one of the most annoying things that our dogs can do. Now, granted, they're not doing it on purpose. So, originally I was in the conventional world for quite a while. I went through vet school like everybody else, graduated almost 29 years ago. And so, at the time, these symptoms were considered kind of in isolation. So we called them allergies because they're kind of part of the allergy complex of symptoms that you see in dogs. But, but the treatment was like, because the feet were what was bothering the dog, the treatment's focused on the feet.
The feet.
Yeah. And so, that is, like I said, it's kind of one of the most annoying things that our dogs can do is keep us up all night, just kind of slurping on their feet. And so what I find in dogs that I see now is that, when people have been to the conventional vet, they're doing what they know to do. And so people come in with the mousse and the spray and the shampoo and the ointment and the whatever to treat the feet. And you may have noticed this, but one of the challenging things about those types of treatment is that dog feet are hairy. Yeah. It's kind of not the most rewarding thing to try to get in amongst the hair follicles with your ointments and creams. And then sometimes they think it's almost like you're just planting a flag and saying to the dog, lick here.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah, maybe you missed this spot.
Exactly. So the reality is that the bulk of what is given, if you go to a conventional practice, to treat licky, itchy, red, inflamed paws is topical. It's all going to be topical treatments. The problem is it's not on the skin. The problem is that it comes from an internal imbalance somewhere that is manifesting itself in their feet in inflammation. And so they can't leave it alone. And I think the biggest thing that people need to realize is that it most likely is coming from a gut imbalance.
100%. And it's not that it's wrong to do things to help soothe the feet, because after all, like, we value our sleep highly.
Well, and we don't want to see them miserable. It's awful.
True. But so it's not wrong to try to soothe them topically, but that's not where the actual treatment should be focused.
You're not going to heal anything.
Right. You're not going to fix the feet by dinking around with the feet. So things that I have found that are helpful that you can do at home if you do have a dog with itchy feet. So one of the things is to maybe get an accurate diagnosis. Sometimes demodectic mange will show up in the feet. Sometimes dogs with sarcoptic mange have itchy lower legs. Fleas can even make your dog chew on their arms and legs. So let's say you've sorted all that out. Maybe it's not those things. And so things like, you can soak your dog's feet in black tea or green tea. And basically you want tea with caffeine because it's the tannic acids that are going to do the work. Tea is antiseptic, it's anti-inflammatory, and it has that kind of drying effect. Like when you drink tea, it dries your mouth out a little bit, and that's kind of the effect that you want. So black tea if you have a dog with dark feet, green tea if you have a dog with white feet, unless you don't mind staining your dog's feet. And basically you brew the tea like you're going to drink it, stick it in the fridge to cool it, take your jug of tea, and it's 1 tea bag per 8-ounce mug, just as if you were going to drink it. Boiling water, let it steep for 10 minutes, stick it in the fridge to cool it down, and then pour it into a Tupperware and plonk your dog's feet in there. If your dog will give you a good 2 to 5 minutes of standing with their foot in tea, whether you have to feed them treats or entertain them or have them do tricks, hold a treat on their nose and don't let them move or whatever the heck it is.
I've actually even made a very shallow bath in a bathtub where I have a shower door that closes. And so they can't leave.
Nice.
And all they got to do is stand in there. All they have to do is stand in there. If you want to keep them busy, a great thing to get too is a lick mat with some suction cups on the back.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, you can put that right on the side of the tub, and you can easily get them to stand there for 15 to 20 minutes. That's ideal if you can get 15 to 20 minutes. Keep
that would
them busy.
Be amazing.
Yeah. And it does really do a good job of kind of drying out those.
Yeah, and that's like if the feet are like moist. I mean, even half apple cider vinegar, half water, and a pinch. Apple cider vinegar is also drying. If you use it straight, it's like a little too drying.
Yeah, that's going to probably hurt.
Right, so you don't necessarily want that kind of effect. What if the feet are already kind of dry and flaky? Then I would suggest bentonite clay. Now, it has to be food grade. Some health food stores might carry it. So it's different from the bentonite clay that is used, like the French clay that's used in cosmetics. You want to make sure that it is edible, just because your dog's licking their feet, right? That's kind of the problem. And basically, if you use, maybe 3 tablespoons of clay to 3 or 4 cups of water. The important thing is that you do not do this in your bathtub, because you don't want clay going down the drain. Clay gets dumped outside, but it will have kind of a soothing effect. It'll soften their skin. Same thing, whatever you got to do to get them to stand in it for 2 minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And if depending on the size dog, depending on how many feet are affected, if you have a small dog, put them in your dishpan and do all 4 feet at once. So after you've soaked the feet in whatever, then you get their feet out of that onto a clean, dry towel, blot. Don't try to get into every nook and cranny. The less you touch the skin, the better. The skin is already irritated. Don't be focused on getting in around the pads and wiping in there. You will make things worse.
The last thing that I would say that is really nice to have on hand, there's a couple of really good salves that you can get that are all natural. You don't have to worry about it if your dog licks on it as far as chemical consumption or anything like that. Some of them are CBD infused, and those can be very beneficial to bring some soothing. If that's not, sometimes the moisture will re-aggravate it. So you really just have to see what is happening with your dog, and really what's making it better, what's making it worse.
If you're going to use a salve, you lay it on. If you're going to use calendula cream or some coconut oil based thing, that's fine. But lay it on there thickly, basically, so that you're not touching it too much.
One other little lifestyle thing that I'll mention is to have some sort of water container or a really good all-natural spray shampoo with a dog towel by your door. Sometimes going in and outside can aggravate or irritate whatever is going on their feet. And so just giving it a light clean, a light rinse, and really patting it dry each time they go out, especially if they do a lot of running in the yard or anything like that. And as always, we would always tell you, avoid chemically treated grass at all costs. Is one of the worst things that you can have your dog walk on. So as we were saying in the beginning, these are all things that are great to do to help manage as you are trying to actually heal the problem from the inside out. These things we're mentioning will only bring temporary relief. They might help manage as the body is detoxifying and trying to heal out whatever this problem is from the inside out, but this is not going to bring cure. The true healing happens in the gut.
So that's where changing your dog's food, that's where using the supplements, that's where using the homeopathic remedies will make the biggest difference.
So along with this, if you're really kind of starting from scratch and you've kind of been with the conventional methods up until now, maybe you've always fed kibble and you've always used the chemical prevention products, and now you're like, I'm changing over, I'm stopping it, all the things. Go for a gut reset to really help set your dog up to use their detox mechanisms and rebalance the microbiome and bring the good bacteria back in so that they can start to really truly heal from the inside out. 80% of the immune system and immune function comes from the gut. So if your gut is out of balance, if your dog's gut is out of balance, and it's kind of the pH is off and all the things, which is what happens when they're on ultra processed food, when they've been inundated with chemicals, it completely compromises their gut microbiome. There's an excellent gut reset that you can do. We have it in one of our guides. We'll link it below. It's a series of supplements and you can use it. It's a beautiful way also to set your dog up well to transition onto a raw diet. And so we'll link that below, but a gut reset is almost always a good idea if you're dealing with something like this. Maybe you've naturally raised your dog, but they went through something and they were on antibiotics. Their gut imbalance is complete. There's just a whole gut imbalance going on. So sometimes it's not, you know, every dog is going to need this, but it's never really a bad idea to do a gut reset protocol like what we have. It's all with just really good support for different organ systems and things like that. It's only going to benefit them, even if it's not necessarily like the whole problem. It's really going to set you up for the best success. So hopefully this gives you some ideas of things that you can do, gives you some perspective. You know, when we have such a loud, miserable, annoying problem like itchy paws, it's really, really easy to focus just on the paws, but the paws is not the problem.
Right.
The problem is inside. So these are some things you can do to help soothe and manage, and then also hopefully start to get to the root of the problem. But really, if you can get yourself a good holistic or integrative veterinarian to help walk you through this, every dog is an individual. That's a huge piece of the homeopathic philosophy, which is what we teach. And so they may need different support. It depends on what's going on. But hopefully these things are kind of get you on the right track and get you thinking about things a little bit differently if you haven't thought about it this way. And again, check the resources in the description box below.